All right, good morning. Back on this Cummins 6.7 with the front oil leak. Again, I believe it is coming from the front main seal, just based on what I've observed and just checked down there. So I'm going to go ahead and start removing the fan shroud, fan. I'm going to remove the intake box because it's in the way of the fan shroud down there. You'll see it's best. Just move it out of the way. You don't want to break these plastics. These plastics are not the best. Okay. Not knocking Cummins, but definitely talking about Dodge. Dodge does not make the best plastics. They tend to break really easily. Also, I'm going to remove this upper radiator hose so I can have some clearance down there. Whether I remove it or just take it off from the radiator and move it aside, because same thing. The fan shroud it'll be in the way of the fan shroud right there. It's just going to be a problem. So again, let me go ahead and show you what needs to be done here. First things first, I'm going to remove the engine cover because it will eventually hit on things. It will eventually become a problem and you'll end up moving that anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and move the engine cover, and it's really easy. 4 8mm bolts, one back there, 2 in the front, and the other one back there. They're already loose right here. Just go ahead and pop them off. Put them in your bolt box. Also, you're not going to be able to remove it if the dipstick is on. Just go ahead and remove the dipstick, move it out of the way real quick. That way it's not a problem. Kind of pull it. You got to kind of see it's got to clear the dipstick too. So you just kind of pull it forward, and there it is. It's on. And put back the dipstick. You don't want, again, like I always talk, you don't want any kind of dirt falling in here or anything like that. Man, I couldn't get that in. That's because I'm doing it with one hand. Still getting used to doing this one hand thing. So, okay, so again, next step is I'm going to go ahead and disconnect these mass airflow and idle air temperature, or intake air temperature, sensors. Like always, trusty little pick. If you can, just grab it. You're going to be able to grab it from right here. See, I can push this now, but I don't trust it. Again, these plastics, 125,000 miles, 12 years old. I don't know if I want to take the risk and breaking it off. His clips look pretty good. Right here, look. Just grab it from the sides. Wiggle back and forth. There it goes. It's off. Still good. This one has a lock right here. This lock, you can do it with your hand. It's up right there. In case you couldn't do it with your hand, just grab a screwdriver and just pry like that back and forth. It'll come up. It's unlocked. Again, I can push this down right now, but I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to use my little pick. I'm going to peel back on the lock, wiggle back and forth, and it's out. Right here, there is a clip that's holding on. Small needle noses. Skip behind the clip. Try not to break it, so that way it'll hang there when you put everything back together, so this wiring isn't just hanging around everywhere and you create different problems, or, you know, just in the end. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, don't forget, disconnect your negative on both batteries. Always important. Okay, so back at this, I already have the upper intake filter box clamp off, so I'm going to be able to just pop that off right now, but I just wanted to show you the way this works out. Also, I'm going to remove this just to be able to show you, and also just to have it out of the way. See, turn back and forth. Seal's already broken, comes right off. This one's really easy. You could just set it off to the side right here somewhere and it'll get out of the way. I just set it off right there. So on these clips, finally, unlike the 5.9s, those clips literally would break your fingers off if you try to get those off. They're just a headache. These right here are very simple. All you have to do is grab it. Let me get some light so you can see it better. There you go. See? All you have to do is grab it, and it's up, and it's off. You have another one up here at the top. Same thing. Grab it. It's off. Very easy, not hard on the fingers. Okay. And then from here, if you look at the locks down there for the, see these clips right here, or these locks right here, what it is that's where the intake, the upper housing goes into, so it doesn't just come up, because it only has 2 clips at the ends right there. So once you have it off, all you have to do is, bear with me, let me get this going. All you have to do is lift it up and pull towards the fender, and then it's off. I already have the clamp off, so it's off. Once you have that off, there's a 13mm bolt right here. Pop the bolt off. Obviously, I already loosened it up. Put it in your bolt box. And it will be ready to come off. Let me show you. The bolt's already off, so literally you just pull right up on it. There is no other bolt on it, but it is held down there. See, that rubber, once they, there it is. That rubber down there. See that rubber? It was just hanging on for dear life on that rubber, but it's off. These are the nubs down there that go into that rubber. Excuse me. Those are off. So we're pretty much ready right there to start pulling everything off. Next thing, I'm going to go ahead and get this radiator hose off, and I'm going to start popping off the fan shroud, belt, all of that, so that way I can access the crank pulley way down there and remove the crank pulley so I can see behind it and see what that seal looks like. I'm pretty sure that's where it's coming from. Also, just accessing this area will let me know where it looks like the oil is generating from, because it looks like it's coming from behind the crank pulley. I couldn't imagine it coming up to the crank pulley. I can only imagine it coming down from the crank pulley. Okay, so let me get to it and I'll show you how that goes.